Welcome, fellow gardeners. If you've ever watched your green bean plants grow tall and leggy while producing disappointingly few pods, you're about to discover a game-changing technique that will revolutionize your harvest. Today I'm sharing the counterintuitive secret that professional growers have used for generations to double, sometimes even triple, their green bean yields without adding a single drop of extra fertilizer or expanding their garden space. The magic lies in a simple but powerful technique: pinching the growing tip of your green bean plants after they've developed 3 to 4 sets of true leaves. I know what you're thinking. How can removing part of a plant possibly help it produce more? It goes against every gardening instinct we have, but this strategic pruning triggers a biological response that transforms your bean plants from single-stemmed underperformers into bushy, pod-producing powerhouses. So, when you pinch that growing tip, you're basically telling the plant that its upward journey has been interrupted. In response, the plant redirects all its energy into producing lateral branches, or side shoots. Each of these branches becomes a new production center, capable of flowering and setting pods just like the main stem would have done. Instead of one tall plant with limited flowering sites, you now have a compact branched plant with multiple flowering and pod-producing zones. This technique works because of a plant hormone called auxin, which is produced in the growing tip and actually suppresses the development of side branches. When you remove the tip, you eliminate the source of this growth-inhibiting hormone, allowing dormant buds along the stem to burst into action. These buds quickly develop into vigorous side shoots, each carrying the genetic potential to produce flowers and pods. The timing of this pinching is, well, really crucial. Wait until your plants have developed 3 to 4 sets of true leaves, not the initial seed leaves, but the distinctive bean-shaped leaves that appear after germination. At this stage, the plant has established a strong root system and has enough stored energy to support the burst of lateral growth that follows pinching. Pinch too early, and you risk shocking a plant that's still establishing itself. Wait too long, and the plant will have already committed too much energy to vertical growth. When you're ready to pinch, just use your fingernails or, a clean pair of scissors to remove just the very tip of the main growing point. You're not looking to make a dramatic cut, just a gentle pinch that removes the terminal bud and maybe the top inch of the stem. The cut should be clean and made just above a leaf node, where you can spot those small buds just waiting to emerge. Choose a morning when the plants are well hydrated but not wet from dew or watering. This timing, honestly, ensures the plants are at their peak vitality and helps reduce the risk of disease entering through the fresh cut. After pinching, you should notice new growth beginning within just a few days, as those dormant side buds start their transformation into productive branches. The pinching technique works even better when you combine it with strategic harvesting practices. Here's where, honestly, a lot of gardeners unknowingly sabotage their own success. They let pods mature fully on the plant before picking them. While this might seem logical, it actually signals the plant that its reproductive mission is complete, which leads to reduced flowering and pod production. Instead, harvest your beans when the pods are young and tender, typically when they're about the thickness of a pencil and the seeds inside are barely visible. This frequent harvesting tricks the plant into believing it hasn't successfully reproduced yet, spurring it to produce more flowers and pods in a desperate attempt to complete its biological mission. The more consistently you pick, the more desperately the plant will try to produce beans, creating a cycle of abundance that can extend your harvest season by weeks. While pinching is the star technique, supporting it with optimal growing conditions amplifies the results dramatically. Green beans thrive in well-draining soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0, and they need consistent moisture without waterlogging. After pinching your plants, pay special attention to watering, as the developing side shoots will be drawing heavily on the plant's resources. Consider applying a light mulch around your plants after pinching to help retain soil moisture and regulate soil temperature. The increased branching means more leaves and more surface area for photosynthesis, but it also means greater water demands. A 2-inch layer of organic mulch such as straw or shredded leaves provides the consistent moisture these branching plants crave while suppressing weeds that might compete for nutrients. So, some gardeners worry that pinching will stress their plants or, make them more susceptible to disease. While any pruning does create a temporary wound, healthy bean plants actually recover pretty quickly from proper pinching. The key here is timing and technique. Pinch when the plants are actively growing and the conditions are favorable, and always use clean tools or freshly washed hands. If you notice any signs of disease or pest problems after pinching, make sure to address them immediately. The increased branching can sometimes create denser foliage that holds moisture, which could, encourage fungal issues in humid climates. So, adequate spacing between plants and good air circulation become even more important with bushier pinched plants. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and immediate results. Within a week of pinching, you'll see new growth emerging from previously dormant buds. Within 2 to 3 weeks, these branches will be flowering and setting pods. By the time your neighbors are wondering why their bean plants look so sparse compared to yours, you'll be harvesting armloads of tender pods from your compact, bushy plants. Remember, gardening is about working with nature, not against it. This pinching technique harnesses your plant's natural responses to create abundance from what initially seems like reduction. It's a perfect example of how understanding plant biology can lead to dramatically better results with minimal effort. Ready to transform your green bean harvest? Try this technique on just a few plants first to see the dramatic difference for yourself. Once you witness the explosion of productivity that follows strategic pinching, you'll never grow green beans the same way again. Don't forget to subscribe to the Smart Garden YouTube channel for more game-changing techniques like this one, and share this guide with fellow gardeners who deserve to experience the satisfaction of an abundant harvest. Your garden and your dinner table will thank you for it.